received nearly $6 million in federal funds for broadband. We are very excited about this. We have about 144,000 Minnesotans that don't have high speed, and we will personally thank the chair for that money. Thank you, Mr. Chair, as well as all the people that have worked on this. And it's been a high priority of mine since I've gotten here, because I just view it as the way that we're going to make it, especially in rural America, easier for people to continue to live there. And that was very clear through the pandemic. We do have workforce issues. My state has the lowest unemployment rate in the country. About 2 months ago, we had the lowest unemployment rate in the country in the history of America. That's a true story. And now we're at like 2% or something. So, Mr. Smalter, you mentioned in your written testimony the availability of skilled labor is one of the challenges in deploying next generation networks. Can you tell us about what you're seeing on the ground? I'm a big believer in immigration reform, as are many in this committee, and I think it would be a game changer for us for deploying some of the technology we need to deploy. Go ahead.
Sure, and thanks for the question, Senator. It is true that many of our providers are facing real shortfalls in accessing skilled labor to do the important work of broadband deployment, be it digging trenches, pulling fiber, managing the various technical and service requirements that are part of the process of delivering broadband, which is why we've been working hand in glove with community colleges, high schools, a variety of community organizations to develop apprentice programs, training programs. I think of, for example, one of our members, Hunter Communications in Northern California, has engaged a partnership with the Hoopa Valley Reservation to do apprentice training. This is just one of hundreds of examples of where we've been trying to support the workforce pipeline.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Ms. Seifer, I'm chair of the Antitrust Subcommittee, and I'm always interested in the role competition can play in making high-speed broadband more affordable. One of the issues in certain areas of our state, there's only one provider, and I know one of the things we did with this bill was to direct the FCC to require providers to show essential pricing and speed information in a simple format, so consumers can make more informed decision, but even that doesn't help the 87 million Americans that have only one choice. I've got a bunch of rural electric co-ops that have gotten in the game and have been very responsive when they have. Also, smaller phone companies have tended to build out more, and I love the fact that we have a clawback in the law, and I've talked to Secretary Raimondo if the money goes out and the broadband isn't built. So could you talk about what could be done to increase competition in our broadband markets?
The competition piece is important in terms of lowering the cost for consumers, but it will only lower it to where it's affordable for middle class. The lower income folks are still going to need that subsidy. So we still have to go it as a two-part, yes, increased subsidy.
That doesn't change that.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So
I'm more interested in the providers and how we can do that.
So that we need as many options on the table as possible. So don't restrict local folks' ability to create solutions.
Very good. Mr. Paul, can you tell us of ways we can improve coordination and administration of the funding programs for broadband across government agencies, given your experience from the past?
Well, I think Congress was smart to require the FCC and the NTI and others to go through a process of developing an MOU for greater coordination. But, you know, having a meeting is not the same as coordination. I think one way that would improve that is really create a set of external criteria that would allow you to measure whether that coordination and harmonization is effective, as opposed to just being able to meet the requirement by saying, yeah, we talked 3 or 4 times. It's going to take a lot more than that.
Very good. Yes, I think that's going to be very important. I think also the people involved in it, the agency heads, who I have respect for, is key as well. Ms. Sequatia, thank you so much for being here. Could you talk about how communities are using federal funding to provide devices, which is part of getting at low-income households, and are there ways we can assure these funds are used more efficiently?
Sure. The tribal libraries in our communities play a critical role for internet access historically, but also access to devices. So the participation of these entities in the digital equity planning, as well as the schools with the Emergency Connectivity Fund, are critical to providing devices for the students and community members.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Senator Klobuchar. Next, we will hear from Senator Sinema, and this will be audio.